Gotta turn the music down. Hold on. Trying to find a good playlist for everybody to enjoy. Let's go with this one. This one looks cool. Hello. We are back. Welcome. Glad you're here. We're going to play this deck that we've been playing and doing so well with. I think some players have been... excuse me. Yeah, people have been playing this, as I can tell. I'm glad everybody is enjoying it, but come on, you gotta get the green on there, you know? Green's good. Red, bad. Let's see. Somebody lost to a dash. I definitely lost to an Iyslander. We know that. Lexi, can't remember. Viserai, I can see it. I can see it. Skill matchup. Pretty hard. Let's see. New cards. Avert your eyes if you don't want to see spoilers. And come right back. I don't think we have anything new. Maybe Max? I don't know if I talked about Max before. But Max is pretty cool. I think he's probably going to be like a cool little Nitro Mechanoid combo deck or something along those lines. That might be cool. Turn this music down just a hair. That's good. Okay. So Max... you get a hyperdriver, so basically a yellow hyperdriver with 2 counters on it. You can never have more than 2 hyperdrivers in play at once with this ability if you are doing the boost thing and setting up, because you'll play it, boost, get one, right? Or not play it, but you know. Anyway, you get 2 hyperdrivers. Next turn, you boost, get another one, so now you have hyperdriver with 1, hyperdriver with 2. Next turn, if you try to get a third one, it's not going to happen. So you at least got to play some number of hyperdrivers in your deck. That might be the red one, right? And then, of course, we see dash. This one's probably going to be the best. Let's be real. Look at the top card of your deck at any time. You may play a Mechnologist item card with cost 0/1 from the top of your deck as though it were an instant, cost 1 additional to play. So, not too sure what to expect without seeing the rest of the set, obviously, but this is definitely scratching my Mechanologist itch, you know? Almost see Max is having the ability to bank a resource turn to turn. Yes, he's going to be very good for that. It's going to be cool. And these little guys here, right? There's 3 of them. There's a pre-release mat, if you guys haven't seen. Let's see, I could probably get a Fab TCP real quick. We can pull it up. Let's see. Oh, so we got spoilers for these guys as well. I think there's going to be some really good Guardian cards coming from his deck if they come in the colors that we want. We don't know that yet, but it's possible. Okay, so articles. Let's see. Just very quickly. Somebody help me out. Where's the pre-release stuff? Spoilers? Nope. All the colors from his video. Or is it just red and yellow? RIP. So my favorite one was Boulder Drop. That card is actually insane. Here it is. Pre-release event. So here, I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to try to zoom in for us. Okay. So this, excuse me. We have 3 dudes here that might be the dudes in Max. And they might be like some... I don't know, we might have some like max specialization cards or something along those lines. Maybe you get some allies or something. Who knows? Who knows? It's cool either way. We love the flavor. All right. So going back here, talking about Bravo. Main changes that I see coming up, yeah, Power Rangers. That's what I was saying. I'm glad I'm not the only one. So with Bravo, this is the wrong list. I think we're going to see the end of Chokeslam. Okay. Chokeslam, been a great card against a lot of different decks that we do not have a great matchup into. So, let me try to zoom in for those. Okay. So, Chokeslam, it stops the gain of power on their attack action, their next attack action that they play. So, or I'm sorry, not the next, it's all of them. So anytime they would gain power, it stops that. So Briar, Tiamat, Heroic, it just completely negates that. That's a great thing. If you pull off the Crush against Phi, it is usually a 2 value, right? Like they get the buff off of the Shuka. And then, excuse me. Gosh. Got a frog in my throat. But the buff off of Shuka, that's a +1, and then Phoenix Flame is another +1. And if they have anything else, if they happen to have like a Art of War that they're trying to set up, you just blow them out, right? Not really, but you just kind of delay, which is what we want to do as a Guardian. So card's been great. It's pretty good against Vincent, but we don't really have issues against Vincent in general. So I think what will probably likely happen is this will move to Debilitate for the time being, unless we get a really good playable card inside the new set. So Debilitate, for those of you who don't know, let's just review that. Debilitate is Crush -2 on their first attack, right? So everybody knows how crazy Pulverize is, besides the fact that it's just 14 big damage. It actually has an on-hit. It's -4 to their first attack on a turn. Unbelievably strong, right? That's a 18 value card for 10. Most of the time, it is cost 9, or if you're able to heave, that's a cost 6, right? With Tech Blighting in Bravo. So, I mean, 3 card, 14 with 18 value stapled on, so effectively 18. That's just crazy. So this is 2 card, effectively half the resource that it takes to do that with a Surge. And pretty good damage, pretty good like breakpoint. They can't just throw Sink Below or Fate Foreseen or anything like that on top of it, and then they get the -2, right? This is a 2 card 10 value if the combo hits. Now, this is probably what I'm going to lean towards pretty soon. I'm going to leave the deck as it is. I don't think there's any reason to make changes currently until the official date that Briar is gone on Friday. But the next card, let me just describe it to you, that I think is going to be nuts. If they print a red one, it's not going to be in the Blitz decks that they announced, but maybe eventually we will get the full cycle colors. But there's this card called Boulder Drop, I believe is what it's called. Let me pull it up just to make sure. Am I right? Boulder Drop? Yes, it is Boulder Drop. So it's only yellow and blue. Thank you for clarifying that. So it is a 3/4/6 in yellow, which means that the red would be a 3/7. It's a crush effect, and the crush effect says they have to put a card from their hand on top of their deck. So it's effective hand hate, or not hate, but like disruption for the turn. It doesn't get rid of the card. It doesn't get to discard like our other discard effects, like Crippling Crush, Command and Conquer. I like to lump that in there, right? Gets rid of the card. You got your Terra Sunders, of course, that do that. But the fact that you can get and demand at least a couple of cards out of your opponent with this card is ridiculous, right? We love that. Earth React. What do you mean by Earth React? The blue one's good, though. I'm probably going to play the blue one. I really like the blue one. It's just a 3 for 5, just like these. Yeah. Ice React. So, yeah, it's effectively Ice React, but a proactive one that forces your opponent to already get cards out of their hand because they're having to block it, right? So, at 7, they can't give you 1 card in general unless they have a defense reaction. So a 3 block doesn't cover that up. They still have to give you another card or a piece of armor. And either one of those situations is a win-win for us, right? But enough about these new cards for now. I do want to talk about this. I had a viewer in one of the later YouTube videos ask for a budget style list, more or less. And I think if you want to play a list like this, take it to your own armor. You don't have the cards, the CNCs, or anything like that. You're getting into it. You really like the look of Bravo and whatnot. This is a good start, right? So this deck is $210 here, and it is almost 100% full power. The only thing that you don't have, like I said, is Command and Conquer, but you have this really nifty card here called Disable that says put their arsenal on the bottom of its owner's deck if it does 4 or more damage. It's a 9 cost. It also allows you to generate a Surge and you know, you still need a 3-card hand with this. That's the downside. You can't do your 2-card hand, but it makes a surge. It's what's called a surge generator in our Bravo lingo, right? And that allows you to play cards like Crippling Crush, because it's 7. Next turn, if you have this in Arsenal, it's going to be a 2 blue, play for 6, right? And then if you're playing cards that cost 4, it's a 2-card 8, right? So that's obviously very good. The other thing that is a budget consideration was cutting Tunic for Northern Gloves, and I don't even think that's really a consideration you need to make for budget. I think it's not terrible just to play the Northern Gloves. It just depends on what you want to do against Bulllander. If you want AB3 potentially, like this, that's the first cut I would make anyway, right? Then let's see, Warmonger Diplomacy. That is the other one that people are having a hard time getting a hold of, or, you know, gritting their teeth and trying to spend $40, $50, whatever it's worth nowadays. So you can play Buckle in that spot. This is also a very powerful card. As much as we love Terra Sunder and the effect of giving our hammer +1 and dominate for 7 for almost guaranteed leak and an on hit. Not as powerful, of course, because discard 2 is ridiculous, but let's say you're playing against a deck that really relies on the activation of their armor, like the Mirror, or Rune Blade with Grasp of the Arknight, or really soon, right, we're going to see a lot more Mechanologist. So the chest, right, the Tekla Foundry Heart, that also has Battle Worn, so that will be able to destroy that. And then with all the Evos, they are incentivized to block with those cards and then stack them on top of each other and kind of like refresh them, right? So if that is the case and you can catch them off guard, you can blow them out with this, right? So this card might actually just make the cut soon anyway. So I would consider getting this if you guys don't already have a playset of that. I think it's pretty good. Everything else is pretty standard. You got your Tech Plating, Crippling Crush, Starstruck, Spinals, like all the things that you would obviously need to play to be as, you know, efficient as you can. Rousey Ancients, Terra Sunders. And then in the new deck, by the way, if you don't have your Cranial Crush, you might want to hold out for a little bit because it's going to be in a Blitz playset, so you're going to get 2 in that new 4-deck box, which if you don't get that box, that's fine. It should reduce the cost of these in the first place. So hope everybody enjoyed that little market analysis, if you want to call it that. But we are going to move over to the Talishar screen so we can play some games. Let's see. I'm going to catch up on chat for just a second. 75 of the 210 is Crown of Providence. Oh, yeah, you're right. If you don't want to play Crown of Providence in that deck list, you can play Skullcap. But I think with the new reprint, it's worth just go ahead and forking over the money and getting that. You're going to use it in almost every single deck. So, card is Gas. Yep. Yeah, I assume you're talking about the new one that we were talking about, the Boulder Drop or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so Panero said that you'll use the Crown of Providence in most decks as well. New Evo, so good if you can destroy it. Go straight to Crown for sure. Yep. Getting my after work ed, totally missed my day. Oh man. Let's see. Let's try to find a game real quick. What do we want to play against? We want to just play against meta heroes, right? Like almost everything's meta at this point. I kind of want to try to find like a Levia or something. I think that'd be kind of fun. So let's see what we got. I'm going to try this Request Undo unless you guys think that we should give Katsu or Lexi a chance. Lexi can be a longer game, so buckle up. What do we think? Somebody give me some... Make a decision. It's not like we're going to get fast food. It's all right. Request seems good? Okay, well, it's gone. Just kidding. Okay, so it is Arakni. We will just play it, I suppose. But in general, like... Maybe this deck gets good now, but... In this situation, I think we just play all the cards, because Arakni is typically a fatigue-style deck. Obviously, they're playing Contract and what's not. We're going to play all the blocking armor and Anathos. We're just going to almost treat it like the Mirror. set up a little bit of pitch stack here and there. They got Nerve Scalpel for their defense reactions. Spider's Bites, you know, pretty standard stuff. Mask of Perdition instead of Crown of Providence. Now, we can start with Showtime, and I think it might be right to just get a pitch card to be able to make a Tectonic Plating Surge. Not too entirely sure where I want to go here. Honestly, it might be right to just get a blue and attack with Hammer this turn, right? So they're at 64 cards in their starting deck. We have plenty more, right? I think what I want to do in this situation is I definitely want to play this because we want our showtimes. Anytime we can get a showtime, that's a win, right? On turn 1. I think we just get Buckling Blow. What I typically do with this, for those of you who don't know, I try to stagger it to a point, and I'm doing Disable for this reason, because I like to pair my 6 with a bigger attack, and this is, I would rather see an 8 sooner than a Disable, right? So we're going to pitch that, and the reason is we're just trying to do that for Rouse the Ancients math, okay? Spoil Contract seems pretty good, but won't be in this list. Are you talking about the 2 costs for 6? Okay, so they're giving us some armor this turn. That is pretty strong for us. I'm going to go ahead and put them next to each other, stagger it, an arsenal or typical things. Now, I'm not going to block the dagger. We have a couple of non-attacks that we can use, so that's fine. 2 for 6, also Contract Gloves, seem reasonable too. Yeah, the Contract Gloves are pretty strong. Flick Knives, to me, is a very good equipment, so I would have a hard time getting rid of that. But the new one having Battle Worn, kind of like a... It's more of this like Battle Worn stuff, right? Where they can pop it and do things. I can't remember exactly what it said, but... Okay, we got a Surgical Extraction. They don't have any floating here. So maybe... See, we don't... If we draw a red here, this is pretty bad if we keep the Spinal. We shouldn't keep the Spinal. We should definitely block with this. If they have the buff cut to the chase, that's pretty annoying. So I think what we do is we just give the 4. If they happen to use that against us, that's fine. They'll be able to manipulate the top. What did they do? They put it on top or bottom. Left the card on top, so it's a blue. It's likely a blue for that reason. They get rid of a blue from our hand. Get rid of the top card. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay. Okay, it's a shred. That also gets us. I need to remember the 2 different ones. Don't play against enough Viserai or Arakni. Okay, so they did banish like we thought. In a situation like this, I am more inclined to keep Spinal. So I'm going to pitch here, attack with Hammer. And then if we have 2 blues, I'm pretty happy throwing away some of this armor to be able to play a Pummel on top of the Spinal. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm honestly glad they didn't hit the Crippling. That's pretty huge. Okay, so we have blue, blue, blue. Now we got red, blue. We're just going to try to stay as efficient as possible. I'm going to give them Starstruck because this is what we need. We need 2 blues to be able to go Spinal Pummel. I'm okay leaking 4 here. Just playing a nice little mid-range game, right? And once we find our D-reacts, this will get a lot easier. We're having to make a lot of on-the-fly decisions about how much to block, almost like you're trying to block against Dory. Definitely don't want that to happen. Because they are blocking like this, I am not going to use the Pummel. Because that just screams to me, I have a D-react in my hand. So, with this being a D-react in their hand, I think we just... I think it's pretty safe, to be real, to just use this unmovable on rouse, or pitch rouse for that, and then swing 4, maybe? Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, what do they do? They're not going to flick knives us. That's crazy. That's craziness. Alright, so whatever this is, it's probably a 0 for 4 D-react, like a sink below or something. So we're just going to pitch, attack for 4, and we will get another opportunity to play this. Don't you worry. Okay, let's gain 3, go up a little bit. Does turn on what we know they have, the Final Sweating Spirit. We have a bunch of D-reacts here. And the Warmongers, this Spider Bite is not scary. Also not scary. This one is big boy number. So, end up using that almost assuredly. Sack the Shifty. Okay, so they are looking for a go again attack. Doesn't really matter. They're keeping a value card on top, most likely. I guess we do have a couple of cards that have go again, right? It's mainly Imposing Visage. I think that's it. Oh, nope. Zealous Belting says gain. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to use Unmovable here. Oh, sorry. Just passed right through it. Okay, so we're going through the reacts. Going here, let's pitch this, because we need to be able to make our hammer bigger. See how they react. They do nothing, still have D-react here. I could see them potentially using the D-react on this if they have another one in their hand. Okay, so it's going to be D-react from Arsenal here. We already kind of know that. Nope. Okay, they're just taking that as well. I could just be reading this completely off. So we got a Frailty token. It's not super cool. Not very nice of you, opponent. Now this hand is abysmal. Abysmal. So maybe we just have to burn the Crown of Providence here. Just get rid of it. What's up, Sebastian? I'm gonna give this, get rid of that. Honestly, they play that from Arsenal? They did play it from Arsenal. Ah, he got baited. Hard bait. So, I'm kind of okay with getting rid of that. And then I'll use the react if I have to. This is +3 off of their 3, right? So we're going to get rid of this pummel. I know, it's unfortunate. But we need a blue. Really, really bad. Okay, that's great. Now, there might be an argument for arsenaling the Zealous. Because I don't really need the ability to play it from Arsenal, right? It's not that big of a deal. They don't really have things that matter as much. It's always right to Arsenal Paper Scene, though, I think. Okay. We're just going to play the 8. Frailty is literally nothing. Buyback equipment. Do be good, huh? Okay. Giving us plenty of cards. I mean, it's almost always got to Arsenal that. Sure. Spider's Bite Fatigue over here, guys. No! We got. As funny as this sounds, I think this might be where we want to be. Uh-oh. Never mind. Never mind. Jeez. What do we do about this? Spider bite really messing us up. Go 1-2 and give this, I guess. No, that doesn't seem right either. 1-2, give 2 zealous belting. That seems awful. And make a surge. How about give them this? These two. Just keep a zealous. We don't want to get rid of that. Okay. I've made my decision. This threatens like we're going to go big boy turn, right? So maybe they lay down more cards for whatever reason. They're pitching a card. Oh, beautiful. We love it. It's great. That's all we're doing. Well, darn it. No zealous belting active things. Gonna have to pitch this command and conquer. Okay, so they got the block 3. Wait, what am I talking about? Okay, so this one is 2 or greater. That almost always happens, right? So yeah, this isn't great either. So this will be a block 3. This is no, sorry. This is block 4. Y'all gotta correct me on this. I'm losing my mind. So, block 4, I can block with this. Or I can just go ahead and block with this. I do kind of like having this later, though. It's not bad. I want to get rid of this, so I can arsenal that. So, that's kind of where my head's at. Yeah, we'll keep this card. Fine. Talk me into it. Sure. Yeah, let's actually bottom that because we want to make sure that we get the cards that we need to be able to play that. Super unlikely, but super unlikely that we don't actually, we're not able to play this, but, you know, we'll hedge it. That's why we're playing the paper scenes, so we can potentially do that. Okay. We almost missed. How about that? Okay, I think it might be worth... Okay, so there's a greedy line where I can block with just sink below, get rid of spinal, hope to draw a blue. That is a 3 cost, so I can do this and I get to keep the sigil. The other line is block here, play sigil, attack with hammer for 4. That might be okay. I want to be greedy. We're here to have fun. Let's do it. And it's not a terrible pitch stack, right? So we'll do this. Send it on down. Give us the blue we need. That's not a blue. That's okay. Let's make another surge, do our thing. Now, unfortunately, we are going to have a red next to a blue, next to another red, but it'll be okay. Maybe it'll be staggered in a way that they'll be separate hands, right? It'll be the end of a hand and the beginning of a hand will be the cripple. Go ahead and do that. We want to do blue. We don't want the reds right next to each other. So many D-reacts. This plays Zealous Belting into Hammer. That's great. Ideally, I will just... next time they defend with 1 or more react cards this turn. Okay. So if I double up on that, that is not great. This guy is just rude. Just rude. feel like I just want to kind of do both. Yep. Starstruck's great, man. Love Starstruck. Alright. Vapor Scene. What's the card on top? Let's see. Let's keep that. I like D-React. Why not? There's actually an argument to getting rid of the Starstruck for that D-React if they try to like do something else. But I think I'm willing to take one of those tokens. Okay. Don't even have to worry about it. Starstruck and the Hammer. This is like the most efficient Bravo math that you can get. So we're Excuse me, gosh. So we're starting to see color shifted singleton rare commons that were single cards. To get a color shifted majestics. Man, it's hard to say, right? I don't think so. Personally, I mean, maybe years down the line, but not anytime soon. Commons and rares have always traditionally been the ones where you get like the full cycles, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. I don't see the Majestics doing that. Not soon. All right, they're gonna get off in the Arsenal here, maybe. Okay. Codex. So we've already seen one Codex. They're getting a Ponder. I think it's probably just right to... What are they getting here? Card chosen is Command and Conquer. They actually get to play it. I think we just get our own, right? Yeah, sure. Just get our own. Discarding you. Because we can't play you anyway on your Command and Conquer. Then we will block. Could have been, it actually could have been Chokeslam if we're blocking with the Starstruck, which we are. Maybe we just do that. Yeah, that's fine. Been a decently interesting game so far. My own Command and Conquer. Got him. We don't have to worry about another Codex for a little while. At least, probably 5 or 6 more turns. Because they haven't shuffled or anything, I do not recall. This hand is really bad. This is damage that I don't really care about. So, with that being said, there's no real way to do anything other than Chokeslam next turn. Is it worth it to block for 2 and Arsenal this? I think it might be. The Pummel's great, but it's really hard to play onto the Zealous Belting and play an efficient trade. So I think we just do that. Go ahead and take 3. Just do the best math that we can for now. Got rid of a Chokeslam. Well, we're just going to play another one. Why not? Feels like a rip chord. Need to sell product. Move on M's to me. Yeah. Okay, this hand plays the thing. So they can't buff it. They can't shred me, which is aggravating. Is it greedy to not block this? The answer is yes. But I really just want to go like Zealous into Chokeslam. I don't think it's worth the 2 extra damage that we get from this. So maybe this, but then it's like, okay, do you go ahead and play the Crater Fist? If that is the case, we can save this for a better on hit, right? It's cost 2 or less. They sunk the top card. So they don't know what the random card is. Let's do that. Let's just take one. And the chances of it being a 2... No! They got it! Not like that. Alright. 11. And then the follow-up turn, having the Surge, means that we're going to play this Crippling Crush off of 2 cards. Wow. Crazy. Alright, how many D-Reacts have they played? They played 2 OACs. That is their first Sink Below. Wow. Oh. Okay. So they just drew all the reacts together, it looks like. What did I put on bottom? Need to keep better track of that, guys. Need to do a little bit better. We can block 4 pretty efficiently here if we want to. 3 is probably what we'll block, unless they Spiders Bite, which they are. We pretty much just always take this little Kadachi thing. Command and Conquer, you're rude. You're rude. Well, that sucks. How many of those have they used? Just have so many attacks, right? Like this is not great for us. I mean, the likelihood that they have another way to pump this, or not pump, but like a shred, that's pretty high. I'm like super tempted to just play this Debilitate, make a Surge, and just let this happen. I'm gonna let it happen. I don't think the risk is worth losing off of like a shred there. And we can still have a pretty good turn off of this pummel setup. Pummel you. Guaranteed 1 damage unless you have an unmovable of some sort. Okay, 2 cards from our opponent. Slay the Scholars. Coming in for 2, Debilitate effect is active. That's super cool, right? Gotta remember those triggers. We don't normally play this card super often, but with the reds, we definitely are going to. So, yeah, we're gonna play this bad boy. Card's always been great against the assassins. Put the Cranial and the Sable on bottom in that order specifically. D-React, I expect. Okay, maybe not. Just hitting them up. Yeah, this is dominated, so I really don't care about your text on your cards. Okay, so they got a Sigil. Cost 1 or less, okay. Misremembered the text on that, but that's okay. I wasn't going to block that regardless. I mean, this is exactly where we want to be. Is throwing these big cards like this. They found their last Oasis. That is not the greatest for us. That means they can just give us a Flick Knives and a 3 block. So, but we are extremely ahead on cards. They do have a Remembrance, but okay, even better for them. They got a Sink Below. They don't have to use their Flick Knives. So I'm gonna stagger this just a touch because we already know that we have some attacks back to back like that. This is not a great Terrace Under hand, so I'm pretty happy just blocking with 1 card. The on hit on this is still not very relevant. If I was a better player, I'd remember the exact top card of my deck because I'm pretty sure we're in pitch stack zone. Okay, so we're just gonna take it easy, take it a little slow, hit them with the hammer, They have to respect it pretty well. And then having this for Arsenal, man. I'm feeling good. Okay, so they got their Mask of Perdition back. Getting a good free block out of that. Arsenal, that guy. Now, very well could... Okay, I got an inertia from the play guy. Very well could block with a pummel momentarily. And then play this Macho. Macho will likely just kill them. Yep, we're going to take that one too. Sack this Shifty. I am not super scared. Okay, so let's see. If they cut to the chase, that is 7 damage. We would die. If they... Let's see. 4 damage here, go to 2, potentially. I think it might just be time to give up the armor. And we'll give them the fate. Sure. Okay. That's fine. Alright, now we're going to hit him with the fate. I think it's still worth blocking the 2 here, even though it doesn't really do anything. Because we have an inertia, it would have been better to block with this, actually. But because we have an inertia, we might as well just play this Macho as is. Make a surge if they somehow are able to cover it up completely. They very well could if they have an immovable. They cannot, unless they have another prevention effect. They don't. Alright. Well, good game, opponent. Much appreciated. They were playing very well. Okay, let's try Iyslander next. Let's see. I will go first. This matchup, I struggled to this day to figure it out properly. Now, the board plan is pretty easy to me. I could go back and forth on this Chokeslam versus the Starstruck. Wherever it is, here it is. Starstruck is good though. It is a resource card. You can overpitch because we are playing Tunic. Overpitch for Hammer and still have the 2 floating. That's always great. Hello _ Don't judge me on my Iyslander abilities. Or against Iyslander. I think we're just going to play it as is. Is it normally correct to attack here? Probably not. Which one would we play? I think I would rather block the Zealous and keep the pummel. Maybe... No, I think I want Zealous a little bit earlier. So, I think we just... Ooh, here's a play. We could activate Bravo. Pass the turn. So we don't want them to dig through their deck. We want them to have whatever crap hand they have. So let's do that. I'm going to pitch here and here. Now this hand is going to suck if we ever get back to it. And we're losing one of our pummels. That's not fun. Just don't think it's worth. They're going to force a couple of cards out of our hand. And I definitely want to keep this Zealous in the blue. So, just pass. See, normally we like to make a surge there. We could do all those things, but it's okay. See, look at that. Now we can just block, call it a day. Pretty happy with that. Now, not happy that they gained 2 life on turn 1 and also dealt 1 to us. 2 card, effectively 10, no, 9. 2 card 9, that's so good. Iyslander, why are you so broken? What are we getting here? Sink below. Oh my gosh. They know how to play the game. Oh, it's horrible for us. Okay, I think we just have to start blocking. They assuredly have another one of these crazy attacks, right? Played your list. Felt a bit underpowered against Elsa. Of course, not the fault of the list. I mean, that's fair. Guardian has always had the not the greatest matchup against Iyslander, but you know, it is what it is. Actually, I would like to undo that. I just like discarding this crap. Well, no. We want the floating. There's no reason to not do that. Okay. Yes, this. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think we just give them 2 cards. I think I'm probably going to attack here. There's really no reason not to. I mean, threatening 4 damage is fine. Preventing damage isn't really going to do anything. They can't really do a whole lot with a 4-card hand, though, is the only thing. But this isn't a good arsenal card. So, I'd rather just get it out. And maybe they're just like, oh, man, I got to use the sink below out of my arsenal. Watch, they always have it, man. They always have it. It's crazy. Boom, another one. I feel like most Icelanders play 7 sink belows. Called it. That's right. Oh, well. Why edit this? I'm going to edit something real quick, guys. I'm going to call this sub goal. We are at so many subs. It's pretty sweet. Gotta update that. It was for some reason registering wrong. It's supposed to be 9, not 8. We're almost there. Almost there. At one point I had like 20-something subs when I was a super regular. Hoping to get back to that stage. Being a regular gamer. Scar. Scar, scar, scar. So played 2 finals, 2 sink below. Look, they were just stacking their deck. Showtime's like basically unplayable in every situation, so I don't really like keeping it over any of these other cards, right? Yeah, getting 6 out early is great. I'm just trolling. More block. I should block. I haven't had a really good opportunity to efficiently block with the Crater Fist yet, but I do need to remember that I have this because I forget sometimes. I'm used to playing AV3 in my personal configuration. Trying to remember what I don't have. I don't think I have an unmovable in my deck. I think that's like literally the only difference between the one I've played in the past. I think this is probably the most optimal list for now. Attack for 4. We're just trying to win these trades back and forth. Okay, we're getting scoldinged. It burns. Oh no. I think it might be worth go ahead and using this now. This is the first point of arcane damage. All game. Points multiple. That was our insurance against Coronet Peak though. Which is like not great. But I mean, just the way they're playing so aggressively is a lot. What's that? Why do you attack into Tunic and an Arsenal? Well, I don't want this card. So, I think just forcing... It might be wrong, I don't know. I'm usually the one on the beatdown, like... having a situation like this. It might have been better just to not Arsenal, right? But we want to get to our cards that are actually relevant. I think burning the Tunic is probably wrong. But I like to get as much value out of the Tunic in this matchup as I can, and the way to do that is to use it when you can. They pitched Great Arsenal. Have Ice Bolt or Emeritus. They pitched Great Arsenal. LADT. It's been a long day, I apologize. Alright. I don't want to pay. Oh, pitch Polar Blast. Yeah, that's fair. I actually didn't notice. I'm going to be real with you. I noticed that they were pitching Assidious Chills. Just talking back and forth, man. This game's hard. Aether, Ice Vein. I think we just pitch 1, pay 2. Just like the norm. Then I'm going to overpitch here. Then we can Arsenal this Pummel, maybe. Also synced, so unlikely. Yeah, this Cold Snap. We don't particularly care about this. Yeah, this matchup is just like... It's just a difficult matchup. Good Icelanders are always scary. They have so much disruption too. They're blocking a lot. Okay, that tells me their turn obviously is going to be pretty lackluster. Maybe a Cornet Peak situation. Okay. Just draw a card, man. Also pretty good. These aren't pummel targets that we necessarily want to care about, so I think we just keep the Starstruck overpitch for that. So I'm going to use this Unmovable here, just to use it for efficiency. I could, I guess, pummel this Chokeslam. Maybe I get the ability to, but I think it's worth just having the extra floating. Could block with the Creative Fist here as well, but I think it might just be better to do this. That might be greedy. We're going to have some floating, so. Best case here, next turn, if we got something like, I don't know, a Command and Conquer would be really good. Rotad. Yes, sir. You got an Arsenal, brother. Oh, man. This is the hand. Okay. So, depending on what they Arsenal, this could be insanity. Right? Let's pitch this. We'll pay 2. Definitely going to play that. But we have Tunic, and Tunic allows us to do this pummel thing, right? That's pretty good. I think I might end up pummeling regardless, depending on what they do. When they get the opportunity to respond, we will have a better idea of what they are going to try. Okay, so Ice Bolt means that we are not pummeling. So come in, I think we just have to take some of this. So there's a couple of options, right? We can get the Frostbite, crack that for Final. I think that might be right. Honestly, I do think it's right here. just to save a point of damage. Pay 1. Now, if they have a blizzard here and they waning moon me, they could really blow me out. Like say waning moon, I don't pay any, then they blizzard me afterwards. Man, that'd be good. No, I think we're okay. And we are getting mooned. This is not looking good for the home team. We also haven't seen any sigils, so gotta keep that in mind. This hand is something. Jesus. Actually, I pitched wrong. Yeah, this hand might lose us the game. I actually might pummel here, depending on their reaction. If they don't do anything. It's like an Arsenal of Spinal. I'm pretty happy with that. What? Why would you overblock this? It's like they're watching. That's so funny. Okay, whatever. I mean, we're not going to do it now. Wild. Sus block. They're acting real sus over here. Why would they block like that? That is wild. Okay. Oh, blues. No. Yes, I would like to pay. I will pay with this one. Actually, I probably should have just discarded, but whatever. Okay, so you block a hammer for 9, but you don't block a spinal for 9? My man. Oh, God. Okay, here you go. I need these cards. Thank you. What do you have in Arsenal? We haven't seen the Arsenal move in a little while. Hey, appreciate the sub. That's awesome. We met our goal. Why is my goal not updating? Oh, no. That was a sub on something else, wasn't it? That was the first time I saw that notification. That's funny. Nice. Okay. This is a little bit. Where did that come from? What was that noise? All right. We're trying to bring it back. We're trying. Oh, it was a follow. Okay. Well, I am terrified. Oh, God. What do you have in Arsenal that makes you... What is the card? Am I just missing something? What's the card? Underscore. I think I want to keep this tunic. I mean, there's no shot like this does anything, right? Just block with it. Just take 2, I guess. I think it's full block. It might be full block. He might be right. Already committed. I don't like being at 11. Watch, next hand, 3 sigils. Calling it now. 3 sigil of solace. Is there any world I pass? Probably not. Maybe so. We're in a bad spot. We are in a bad spot. Just don't have the good cards. Maybe it would have been better to arsenal the Command and Conquer. Kept that card. In a tournament, I would actually think of my options before clicking buttons willy-nilly. I always want to swing that hammer, you know. Pass priority. Give it back to you. Hey, got him. Pay 2. Oh, don't mind if I do. Pay 1. Ooh. I'm dead next turn. Watch out. Man. It wasn't. It wasn't. Not it. It's not it. Okay. Maybe block. Maybe I want to keep a blue. Maybe it's full block. Maybe it's full block. What is full block? Does not feel great. They have free reign to do whatever they want to me. It's not fair. Oh! Oh, yes. Yes, indeedy. Absolutely. Don't mind if I do. That damage is annoying. Can't really pay for that. If we had Tunic, it would be pretty sweet. I think they will likely pitch to Waning Moon, so I think we do just go ahead and pay 2. Pay 2. Then we'll pay 2 for the Waning Moon. Yes, sir. And then this threatens Pummel, so I'm willing to do this. We're just so behind. I don't think there's any shot that we get there. I think I might go back to Chokeslam. I do like playing cards like that. Just a little more efficient. Well, it was a sequel. Golly. Oh no. Look at all these instant activations. Instants everywhere. Oh, I gotta do that. I'm not dead yet. No, sir. Oh, shoot. I almost hit the button. Wow, that was pretty neat. Wonder what the last card is. They don't have Stormstriders. Is it worth dominating? I think it is. No, wait, no. That's dumb. We just do this. Give cards. Well, we tried. We can get 2. Or 1, I mean. Cool. You're telling me I'm getting full value out of my tunic? Oh. Sweet. Sweet baby. Sweet baby. No, you want to make the hammer bigger for me? You're too sweet. I'm gonna play this. Oh shit. Sorry. What did I pay for? Oh. Wait, what did I pay for? I'm losing my mind. Oh, it was Waning Man. It was Waning Man. Okay, okay. That makes sense. These sigils are coming in clutch. Still don't think it matters, but it's pretty funny. I'm surprised I've gotten this far. Rip. GG. Well, we kind of salvaged it a little bit. Could have been a little bit better. Opponent keeps mistiming their stuff. Wow, I was just stumbling all over the place. Need to get more practice with that matchup. I'm sure she will be around for a little while, so we need to be able to play against her. All right, so that is a loss for the tally mark. Sorry, team. Oh yes, this matchup is interesting. Okay, so we have a Levia button. This is one of the matchups we're actually playing Baby Hammer into. Playing 63. No 2 blocks here. And no unmovable. Not really where you want to be. Okay, so yeah, this is it. Let's make it happen. Needed those Norrin gloves? Probably. I like Norrin gloves and tunic. Just kind of my playstyle. I just don't know, like, my big thing. Let's move over real quick. So my big thing over here is, like, what setup do I want to do, right? You definitely want your pummels. I think you want your Command and Conquers. You definitely want these. I'm stuck on Starstruck. I don't know if we want that. It might just be better to go Chokeslam just because it's a 2-card. Here's 8. Maybe not, because you have to use Tunic. Gives them opportunity. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, moving back. Let's see. Well, we got a turn 1 Showtime. That's hard to beat. Surge. This is where I would love to have a Pulverize. There's no Pulverize in the deck. No. One of my favorite cards. In this case, maybe it's just crippling. Because they don't have a graveyard to, like, extend their turn yet. The worst they're going to do is, like, maybe here's a 6 or an 8 or something crazy. I guess they do have, like, Go Again outside of the Dread Screamers and whatnot, but it's another one of those mid-rangey matchups. I do not. So this is Ben Hannon's list with all the sideboard options that he prefers, and I've been playing it a little bit. And I tend to agree with Red Unmovable in this matchup. You're not really trying to, like, be a blockout deck as much. I think you want to play mid-range in general. Like, that's kind of where I like to play it. And late game, when they flip to Blasmo, depending on how much blood that they had, you can turn into, like, a blockout just inherently, you know, just based on the situation. Okay, so we got a +3, so there's that 6 that we were talking about. Let's go ahead and block here. And you know what? I think that's all I want to do. Because there's no guarantee that this is the card that we want. This is always going to be plus. It's not like a barraging or anything. So let's go ahead and take the 3. A shield is just like, I'm playing mid-range against like these really, really aggressive decks, right? This isn't a fatigue matchup, right? Like I'm not trying to out-block them. I'm trying to more out-efficiency them. They just have so much like damage output on random turns. Like sometimes, most of the time I would say a Blood Rush turn is low 20s, upper 20s, somewhere in between that range. Like obviously there's some variance with that. But I've seen some that are like low 30s that are pretty crazy. You're going to want the Still Raid. And then in this matchup too, a lot of times if you get to 2, you're also just dead because of Reckless Swing if they're playing that card. So you got to play around that. I don't normally play Sigil of Solace in this matchup, but that's what Ben has selected, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it because a lot of like there's no real on hits in their deck, so you can just play the Sigil whenever. What's going on? Oh, okay. There's no cost and banish card from their hand. You may play this turn. That was a... It was a Shading Scream, right? I think so. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Why not? We're already in the react step. I'm gonna play that anyway. Oh, they played a Reckless Swing and an Expendable. Okay. Fill in the grave. This hand is the worst for when you have tempo. Call me Bravo. Luckily, I guess kind of luckily, you can consider it this. We don't have Anathos, so the benefit of not having 2 3s is doesn't even matter here. Just attack for 4. Okay, more blues. We love blues. Okay, this is quite an unworldly deck. Next is +4. Well, luckily these block for 4. Honestly, I can just give both of these. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Take 1. Yeah, I'm cool with taking 1. This is another blue. I might just pitch this just because we can. Sigil on top. Again, I usually don't bottom defensive cards. If I know that this matchup is going to go likely to second cycle, the way that they're playing it makes me feel like it might. So I don't want to see those cards later. Hammer for 4. Playing like we're Oldham. And they've used a lot more cards than we have. So. Actually, it's probably about even. They're giving us scab skin leathers. Well, if we wanted to block... Well, I guess technically we have 10 just in our hand and we have all this crazy armor. Use the setup against Lexi as well. Still Braid and all that. It's very good. Who knew that block 3 or basically 3 health in your armor slot was this good? Okay, so banish a random card. They're getting +5 on their next. This is just a screaming deck over here. Just every card in their deck is something screaming. Oh, their mouths open, ready to go. They're hungry. Alright, does that give... Yeah, it's brute. Okay, so 5, so 13 total damage. Well, I'll give it to you. I don't really see a point in blocking anymore. I'm just going to use these. It's kind of like a block 12 this turn cycle. And that's all of our sigils. They did their job. They blocked 3, kind of. We blocked with 2 crippling crushes. I think we want to try to have some of those in the deck, or at least the last one. So this Sink Below will do a good job at replacing that for us. Okay. Big pump deck. Okay, well that's the last one. Cannot be any more of those. I want to keep this. Likelihood of me getting a blue, pretty high, pretty high. Okay, I'm willing to brick my hand if I have to. I can always make a surge. Then we'll get rid of Sink Below, get rid of this. Okay, blue, it's not a blue. We knew the risk associated. Rip. It's okay. We got the backup. The backup Sink Below. Okay, so we've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our defensive cards. We got 3 more. One of them is an arsenal. We got unmovable. Alright, so we got 12 total. That's where we're at. Old Bravo, for those of you who have not been around the block as long as I have, back in like Monarch era, this is basically when I started playing Bravo. Every Bravo was like on 12 to 15 defensive cards. Most of the time it was 15. It's pretty wild. Wild days. We also didn't have crazy cards like Starstruck. So, I mean, that's fair. So, I know I said this isn't a blocking deck. Is the deck not working? I'm sorry, hold on. Stay around, stay around. Just you wait. I'll get the Nightbot going. Alright. Deck. What is... Oh, it's deck list. You have to type in deck list here. I got you. Deck list. There you go. Okay. So I know I said I'm not going to be a blockout deck. That's not really the plan. But that's kind of where we're forced right now. If we had a decent hand here with any relevant like follow-up attack, I would be doing something, I promise. It's just every hand has been either very defensive or a bunch of blues. So, or a bunch of reds, like drawing a random red, like that choke slam. That was a blue. Obviously, we'd be hammering or something along those lines. If I had choke slam that hand, I probably would have leaked at least 3 damage there to be able to play that. You know, just better math. So, you are welcome. Enjoy the deck. It's very good. It has lots of the matchup buttons. So it is missing a couple, but the ones that it is missing, if it's missing it, then you're probably already favored in that matchup. Just pick the one that is closest to. What's up, Aaron? So, for example, right? I don't think Viserai is on that list, but you will have a hard time losing to Viserai. So, sorry, Nathan. Sorry. I know. You like your Rune Blades. But if you just like throw cards in there, like all the defensive cards, maybe a couple pummels here and there, whatever you want, right? You'll be fine. You will be fine. All right, we got a 6. I'm going to clap back with Command and Conquer Tear Asunder, not great in this matchup until they get rid of their armor. The CNC must, if I want to build a budget version. So I went over a budget version earlier in the stream. I'm more than happy to bring that up. But no, short answer is no. You don't need CNC for your budget. You can play Red Disable in that slot, and I think it is not terrible, right? Like 2 cards versus 3 cards is big, but Disable actually was played over Command & Conquer at one time. So it's very worth it. And then Warmongers you can replace with another blue that blocks 3, that also costs 3, something along those lines. And then, what was the last card? Oh, Tunic is in the board in this list. You don't need Tunic. You can just play Northern Gloves. Just call it a day. I really like Tunic for Iyslander. I have in the past. But Icelanders have been very difficult lately, so I don't even know if it matters. I'll need to get some more practice in, and we'll get some test games. This is a hand that I'm decently happy taking some damage on to send this back. They're playing Pummel. I just noticed that. Shade and Swing, Slithering Shadowpede. They blocked with Husk. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Why not? Take some damage. We have plenty of armor too. I'm having a great time with this list. Ben, if you ever watch these VODs, you did a great job. This is a very good list. Board plan is fun. I love Sigil of Solace. Call me toxic. I love that card. The card's so good. Sigil of Solace and Command and Conquer and all the Sink Belows and Favorite Scenes. Oh. Chef's Kiss. Great cards. Oh, they're really tanking. Or maybe I'm... Nope, it is the opponent. Okay. So, this is a very weird Levia. It's not the ones that I'm used to seeing. These, like, Shade and Swings aren't super common. Because they're random banish from your hand, not discard. So they directly impede your progress to filling your graveyard, which is obviously bad. You definitely need that. So, not saying that it's the worst thing. Like a yellow 6 that blocks 3 is pretty good, but I don't see myself ever wanting to play this card. Like physically cast the card, right? Pitch a card to play it. Most of the time. Shade and Scream is cool though. I do like this one. It's pretty cool blue. Unworldly is great. Card's always been sweet. Okay, so they are getting crushed, but lucky for them, the majority of their deck is 6 or higher. If they had a blue Dread Screamer, this would be the only thing that would kind of affect. Just keep that in mind. And you are also playing against your Levias. Just remember, you're like, oh yeah, they have all 6s, right? If you crush, they can't play that blue Dread Screamer. Don't let them. Okay, we got a Howl from Beyond. They've been playing this out of banish pretty regularly. I'm curious the ruling. Anybody in here? This is a hand where I'm going to just block like so. Actually, I didn't notice that it was a 9. Howl from Beyond. Just talked about it. Okay. The ruling with the Demi Hero. Do you have to say, I have the Demi Hero in my sideboard before the game starts? Is that how that works? I don't think so. Somebody I was playing against in a battle hardened one time, they didn't tell me they had the demi hero. And then they were just like, oh, I hit 13, flip over. I guess we should just assume that they have the demi hero, that they're playing that. I mean, it's just like basically a free sideboard slot, right? But I'm just curious. Wish I would stop getting all these multiple blue hands back to back. Okay, we got a Shade and Scream. +5. What if that's their blue for turn? What was that blue? Well, again, I'm just gonna block some. Probably a good hero to pick up for a beginner. I'm searching for a hero because I'm new and wanted to play Kano, and I think to learn all the key cards and matchups, it might be better to pick up something easy. Bravo is one of the easiest. I will give you that. And it's one where, as long as you know your matchup, like what you're trying to play, I think you can do well in almost every single matchup. Okay, so they do have the demi hero. Yeah, I think Bravo's a good one. And there's a lot of content online on my channel if you want to watch that. Shameless plug. And it's cheap. And it's pretty good. So, many reasons to play Bravo. Kano is cool. Don't let your dreams go to waste. Okay, if you want to play Kano, play Kano. But it's probably the hardest deck to be good with in the entire game. It's got so many interactions, so many opportunity windows that other heroes don't have, right? So instant speed stuff, like it's tough, right? Now try it at your armories and whatnot, but I think Bravo is a lot easier to get a bunch of wins with. Like for instance, Aaron the Polar Bear is a friend of mine. Been a friend of mine for, I don't know, 20 years, something like that. Started playing the game, was playing Levia, having a good time. Noticed the variants, went over to Bravo. Took him a little while, probably about 20 games, until he started like actually figuring out, okay, this is what I need to do. Here's the efficiencies and whatnot that I need to play. Just practice with it, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's getting 2-1, 3-0s at armories, you know. Doing a great job. It rewards perseverance. The deck does. And I think he's fun. I like these cards. I'm a big fan of Disruption, always have been in card games. So having cards like Crippling Crush. In Magic, there's a card called Hymn to Torok. This card is literally just Hymn to Torok stapled to it. So as you can imagine, Hymn to Torok is discard 2 cards at random. It's very good. Very good. Are we getting their arsenal? I guess so. Man. What is their blood debt? Okay, they have a Ram Raider, a Shaden Swing, and a Carrion Husk. That's it. They only got 2. They only have 1 source to go again. Where are your Dread Screamers? They are not playing Dread Screamer. We just noticed that. And look at all this armor that you get to play. I haven't even blocked with the armor yet. It's so good. And it's cheap. Tech plating is like $40. Crown of Providence is played in everything, so it's a little bit more, but you know, still good. Okay, so destroyed from Arsenal, the Mark of the Beast. Oh, I got 3 action points. Watch out. The Bellow is here. We got +2 on their next attack. Carrying Swing. Normally I would block with 2 cards here, but I kind of want to just block with 1 since we're so ahead on life total. We could just dominate the spinal and it will most likely hit for the crush effects. So, good damage push. Against a more traditional Levia nowadays, I don't think it's this like different in life total, you know? I think it's still pretty close. And most of the time they're going to have like 3 or so Dread Screamers set up before they want to flip. So those matchups are pretty tough, so watch out for that. But you can see how I'm my general thought process, right? Just play the hands, be efficient, be out of reckless range. Definitely well over that for now. Where's this coming from? From hand? It is the biggest block. I'll give you that. This hand is not very playable. I can play the Starstruck, I guess. I'm gonna give him this hat, just because at this point we're just kind of having fun. We can do this. We can do it all. That's pretty cool. You know what? I'll give you that too. I keep Sink Below and Arsenal against the brutes, any of the 0 for 4s, because of a card called Pulping. Also, if you get Barraging comboed, it's very good for that because you lay your 1 card down that you have left if you like got triple intimidated. Play the Arsenal now, all of their buffs get reduced, and you can full block almost anything. So just to give an idea, a card disappeared. Oh my gosh. Everything's going crazy. So this is an easy 13 damage. They're going to have to give me every card in their hand, and then they will not die to Blood Death. But they will go to... No, they won't go to... Math is hard. They don't take damage from the Blood Death. That's right. They just mill. Okay, they're taking 1. Nice. Then we're just going to play this motto. I used to have an issue with this, so don't feel bad if you do. But a lot of times I would have a hand like this, and I would look at it and be like, oh man, I can't rouse the Ancients. If I can't play Macho because I have to Arsenal this Vapor Scene, right? Like, that's just how my brain would work. Because I'm like, this is always an Arsenal card. You prioritize this 100%. Based on the board state, obviously, they're going to die to this. Like, it's just going to happen. Just play the card, you know? It costs 7. Just pitch your react. It's fine. I think... Oh, okay. I was about to say, I think the opponent just decided to close their screen. It's okay. Is Pummel a good Arsenal card? Set up big turns, or is defensive reaction better? It depends on the situation. This is a very reactive deck. You have to look at your hands and base on how your opponent plays to be reactive, right? So if you want to play a proactive deck, there are many decks that do that, like Lexi, Phi, you know, any of those, right? Bravo is a more reactive, mid-rangey style deck. There are matchups where you need to be the aggressor, for sure. Good game. Good game. A good game. But yeah, Pummel is a great Arsenal target. A lot of times I prioritize putting a... Well, here's 5. Putting a defense reaction in Arsenal. But, like, for instance, in this matchup, I know I need to be disruptive. Okay, so I'm not playing as many defense reactions. I have them boarded out, but I am playing pummels. Some matchups I board out the pummels, right? Just depends on what you need to do. So this is a lean 60 here, so we're going to be boarding down to 60 a lot of times. In a lot of matchups, you're going to be boarding up, right? Let me say good luck, have fun, so they don't run off. Like for instance, against Azalea, I'm playing 63. Against Bravo, I'm playing 70. I'm playing all the cards. Dash, that's a lean 60. We are the aggressor in the Dash matchup. Against Dromai, we are the aggressor. Against Iyslander, we are trying to be the aggressor, but a lot of times we can get run over, but that's okay. Viserai, we are the aggressor. Briar doesn't exist anymore, so don't worry about that. In this matchup, we are not the aggressor. This is the weird one, okay? Against Ninja, we are trying to disrupt. If we can snowball, that's great. But I am more than happy playing a very mid-rangey matchup against Ninja. So, let's see. What are those matchups where you need to outpace? Okay, yep. So, hopefully I just answered that. But again, it's going to be Illusionist, Mechanologist, usually Dash. Give me one moment. Try to figure out how to do this hand. This hand is not bad. It is not bad at all. So there's an argument to Arsenal and Crippling. I think that's probably right. I think we just make a Surge, keep the Command and Conquer, and keep the blue to guarantee that. Arsenal here. There's no reason to attack them. They're playing more cards. They're playing 71 cards against us. That's interesting. That's not super common. That tells me that they might be like a control Phi. So Arsenal, that's great. Yeah, we got the blues that we need. But yeah, so matchups, you're the aggressor. Dash, Illusionist. I feel like there's one more. Oh, Iyslander, any of the decks that are trying to set up. So I don't know how long you've been playing, but Iyslander traditionally, before, we have to block this. Like this. This card is incredibly strong. This card gives a +1. But Iyslander traditionally, they're the ones, they would set up, what's the card? The Hex. They would do Hex, right? Frost Hex. So they would combo. If they get 3 Frost Hexes out and they give you a bunch of Frostbites, you just take a bunch of damage, right? So you would try to beat them before that. Now they play this mid-range matchup, so it's kind of hard. It might be worth actually nowadays playing some Sync Belows into them. Just depends if you know they're on Bullander, but the risk you have is they're Wizard. They can just play no attacks, and then your Sync Belows are literally dead. Dash does this thing, we call it Exodia Pistol Dash. So they get 5 items or 4 items depending on what style of build they're playing, and they're trying to shoot you with their pistol for 4 times, 3 to 4 times, something along those lines. So that deck is pretty good against us, very hard to beat. I'm gonna play a Crippling Crush here. No Dominate. You got to pace out your Dominates in these matchups too. They don't block very well usually. They have a bunch of 2 blocks, so in matchups like this, using the Dominate isn't a priority. But against Kano, we also are very aggressive. That's a very bad matchup for Bravo against a experienced Kano. Reinforce and Sync. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so we're playing it like it's Iyslander, but we don't care what they do almost at all unless they play a Wildfire. Wildfire is the kill card. Try to get a sigil, put it in Arsenal, call it good. Just try to kill them. If you let them pitch stack, you're definitely dead. There's like no chance at all. And then Dromai. Dromai is a tricky one. You just have to play that one a little bit. There are a few dragons that you play where like Mirror Guy is a must kill. That's the one that makes it to where you can't pop the dragons. Chromai is usually a must kill, but you usually can pop it. Viserai with Ash attached to it. The Majestic Ash. That's a rough one. Gotta kill that. Passing Mirage is not a dragon, but that is a automatic kill on sight. And other than that, you just smack them. Spitch and Crippling Crush in this matchup bad. You hit the second cycle. Normally, you do not hit the second cycle. So, when you see your cards, you're just trying to play your cards in this matchup. Just as efficiently as possible. If I get a full blue hand, that's not great. I'm going to Arsenal this Command and Conquer, and I'm ideally going to see a Pummel at some point soon. Pummel is always best attached to a Command and Conquer or a Spinal Crush in this matchup. These cards are fantastic. Okay, they're breaking points. This is a must block against the ninjas because if they hit you 3 times in a row, they get a free card. That's very bad for us. Don't want them to have free cards. So honestly, I think we just give them these 2. Well, this is the worst one out of those. These 6, you want the higher ones, and we're going to pitch these 2 to attack with the hammer. But if they didn't do anything, the reason I wasn't blocking or caring about that, so I would love to play this Rousey Ancients and make a surge if I can, but if it means giving them an extra card and taking 5, no, definitely not. Okay, is pitching Crippling? Okay, I already read that. The times where you pitch Crippling are usually the slower matchups, the matchups that are going to be a little bit longer. So the Mirror, you can do it against Rhinar. You can do it against Levia sometimes. Dory. Just any warrior in general, actually. Bolton sometimes. Other than that, you usually don't try to pitch it super often. I might be missing somebody, but... Okay, well, we found the Pummel and the Command and Conquer. I think we Arsenal the other one. I'm going to try not to block, but the relevant hits, and I'll use the armor to do so in this case. Or the Chokeslam. Yeah, against Gadachis, you just kind of have to let them go, let them do their thing. Okay, so this is a must block. I'm going to give them this card. I just kind of have to. Now, they could pump it up. Just give them a free card. But I can't really play around that because I need every card in my hands to be able to make it play next turn. They play their last card. That's it's annoying for the Command and Conquer, at least. You can see the kind of block pattern that I'm doing here. I'm going block, or take, block, take. This last card, if they play it. Okay, they're not playing it. It's awesome for us. We're going to play this. We can't make a surge because we need the red and then that to pummel. And Phi, all the ninjas really, they get these super awesome hats, but that means they don't get to play Crown of Providence, so your Command and Conquers are even better. They're so good. It says give me multiple cards. And if they're playing cards like Sink Below, Reinforce the Line, they can't play Sink Below. Reinforce Line actually is pretty good against this, but yeah, I'm gonna pummel the crap out of that. They probably have a Reinforce. I'm curious if they play it anyway. Because a block for 2 doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah. If they had the 3rd reinforcing line, that would be pretty annoying. Okay, cool. So the card from Arsenal was reinforcing line in the first place. So now they only have 2 cards. That's awesome. Very much appreciate that. Unfortunately, our tempo doesn't matter because we drew nothing. I think it might be worth arsenaling unmovable here. Because this is probably going to be buff power. Yep, that's pretty standard. So we'll block. And then I think we should just hammer for 4. It might be better to hammer for 6. Because we do have more of these choke slams and other ways to, or other cards that we're trying to play off of 2 card hands. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think it's probably better to just make a surge and Anathos for 6. Because that allows us to block with a card for 3. Most of the cards attack for 3. If they had more cards with significant breakpoints, then the unmovable would make sense. This card is always annoying. I'm going to be blocking a lot. So they attack again with this here. I'm going to throw a card because it'll eat up the Tiger Stripe. What are they doing with the tunic? Again, I'm blocking here. This makes it to where combat tricks are a lot harder for them to make it to where they draw another card of a mask. It's not usually super optimal to block the second there, but because it's getting a value of 2 off of the Shuko, and I want to block with these cards anyway, I'm super happy doing that. So could end up playing this potentially, probably not. This damage doesn't matter. What else could they do? Any breakpoint would be annoying. But, so they just get a Phoenix Flame. They're going to play the Phoenix Flame. I have an all red hand, it looks like, for this reason. So Phoenix Flame, maybe a breakpoint. Probably a Snatch, actually, now that we think about it a little bit more, because they blocked with one earlier. We don't want them to have that. So we'll just use the armor for that, I think. We'll just take a turn off. I mean, wouldn't be doing much anyway, except for swinging for 6 or 4. So coming in for buff power. Buff power. You can have all of my cards. Just for you. Easter is such a wonderful card. Card is super strong. I mean, this hand makes me want to Arsenal Pummel. Sure, can undo that. Makes me want to Arsenal Pummel here, right? So that means that I need to probably just end up blocking with all this stuff. It might be a Crown of Providence turn, just to kind of fix this hand up just a little bit. Two here. Honestly, this is a pretty good opportunity to use that. Let's do it. I'm going to get rid of Spinal, as dirty as that sounds. Because I want to be able to guarantee that I can play a Chokeslam given the opportunity to. So I think Spinal bottom is probably the best. If I draw a blue, I'm going to be kicking myself because I really want to be able to play the Spinal, set up a Surge, set up Pummel, maybe. But I think this is the most efficient play when it comes to being able to block or not. Glad I did that. We definitely did not want to draw that Pummel. That is really bad. I don't think it's devastating or anything along those lines, but it is definitely not ideal. A Rabble. Lava Burst on top. Okay. We have that to look forward to next turn. This Chokeslam could be very good against that Lava Burst, actually. But only if we had a blue. No, us not having the blue is really messing this up. I'm going to take 4 here. Last card. E-Strike. Very nice. Buff power is correct. I agree with you, opponent. That means we block here, block for 7. They do not get a Lava Burst. I have a 4-card hand next turn. Maybe we'll be able to set something up. But we're definitely attacking for 4. Guaranteed. Been a pretty good game. Pretty good back and forth. If you don't draw super hot in this matchup, it can be pretty difficult. This is likely a no block for them. Unless they just happen to brick. Yeah, Fies don't like to block. They're super unhappy if they block. They're grumpy people. Sync Blow is great. Do love that card. Kadachi is annoying, but we'll take it. It might be time to play a blue debilitate. And gotta worry about that mass trigger. Snatch, nice. I actually have double insurance here. It's pretty cool. So I'll probably bottom the Buckling Blow just in case I have to do this for whatever reason. But I'm just gonna sink below their Snatch because it's so good. Let them snap their snappies. Let them get a little snappy with it. Get out of here. Bottom the Buckling Blow. Yes, thank you. Oh. Oh Lord, if only that was playable. Darn it. How unfortunate. Yeah. We need another Command and Conquer or a Chokeslam of some sort. That would probably be the best. We pitched a Command and Conquer earlier, which is not great, but I think it's just another full block here. Not going to be able to utilize the Surge, unfortunately. But it's the best we got. Best we got. Probably another sink below soon. So turn 8, only saw 1 so far. It said no blocks. They said don't care about your hammer. Hand is very bad. Not much I can do about this. I will take the 3. Save the actual cards for some on hits if they happen to have some. Alright, I'm gonna block that one. That one does technically have an on hit. That's 1 less to play. Could be relevant. Could not. Spins. Flame Call Awakening, sure. That's a block here for you. Just for you. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let them have this one. Okay, picking up another Phoenix Flame. You can have this card. Now the chances of drawing a Crippling and 2 blues, or a Starstruck and 2 blues, might be pretty good, but I think I'd rather just full block these big turns that they're having. Gotta have enough of a life total threshold to be able to do something. Whenever we finally draw a good hand. We really need to draw Chokeslam or Command and Conquer. Those are big. Spinal would do it. Spinal would be okay. Spinal would say, you have to give me a few cards. We're just starting to get to the point where a little low on health total. It's going to be pretty tough. Bottoming a Spinal makes it pretty unlikely that they pass through their turn, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd pass through their turn. Yeah, okay. Crippling would definitely switch the tempo. If we were able to actually play it. It's just the cost is the issue right now. So they pitched a Sink Below to Art of War. Well, that's good for us. It's pretty good. I would love to be able to keep this whole hand. I doubt that I will be able to. This whole hand would mean, yeah, especially with Art of War, there's like no way. Rabble for 4. We just gotta take like most of this. Kadachi? Kadachi? Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Okay. Oh no, crap. The Shuko. Dang. Okay. We'll give him the crit one. Oh wow. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. We'll just play this. They probably have a Sink Below in Arsenal. I've just kind of been sitting on it. And they pitched another Sink Below. That means that their hand was either that bad They already had one. Didn't really want to care about that. Yeah, so here it is. Yep. Okay. We do not have the opportunity to do anything with this hand really either. This has been not been a good showcase for the boy today. Ninja's beating us up. Icelander's beating us up. Well, I almost passed on that. That's not good. So they're already Kadachi, and they're doing this. This is guaranteed. I'm going to draw them a card. I think I just have to go chokeslam, maybe. Alright, this one comes in for 2, 5. Okay, this one is 5. Well, give you 5. They're giving us a chance. Maybe. Maybe. We got to use this armor at a very key point. Alright, well, the hand is insane. There's a command to conquer. Got sink below 2. Oh, man. Alright. Just don't have double strike. That's the one thing you didn't need to have. I'm so low. I'm gonna take this one. So I have to. Alright, play 0 for 4. Come on. 0 for 4. It's not 0 for 4. Is there any shot I'm able to... I think this is right. I mean, like, they're playing another card, so... If I had 5 life, this would be great. What are you doing? Breaking point. Okay. Well, we have to give them this, I think. Sigil could be good in this matchup if you know where they're on Kadachi. But, I mean, there's no guarantee on that. Ember Blade would just eat you up if you were on Sigil. So you need to be able to block their stuff. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. They're arsenaling here. They do have an arsenal, so we are going to command and conquer. So maybe we get there on that. We're so low. We're so low. Now their Kadachis are going to request 2 cards out of our hand. Period. This game is pretty over. We'll finish it to get it to its end, its natural conclusion. But I don't think there's a possible way to get back into it, especially with having 3 relevant turns the entire game. That was it. We had Command and Conquer. No, we had a Crippling Crush turn. I'll take it back. Then a Command and Conquer Pummel turn eventually. Then a Spinal turn. And that's it. That has been the whole thing. Those are all the turns we played. If you play more disruption turns than that, you usually get there. So just keep that in mind. It's not usually this poor. I still don't think it's favored, but oh yeah, Art Award too. We're dead. I've never been so dead in my life. Brick. Big brick. Brick. Get nothing. Drew a bunch of non-attacks. Art of War, non-attack. Dang. They found the line. I mean, technically it's... If they didn't attack with their Kodachi, their next Kodachi, do that. That's what we want. Oh, man. They found it. Okay, well, we gotta give them 2 cards. Alright, one more card. I bet this 5-player feels so accomplished. They're like, man, we did the thing. He's dead. You want to hit me with a Kodachi? There are many ways you can just kill me. Command and Conquer for 7. Yep, that got me. Very dead. Alright. We'll give them a good game. They played well. Alright, one more loss. Let's try to get one more game done. Why not? We'll do one last one. Oops, not that. Pretty cool games today. Pretty good variety. Played against an Arakni and an Iyslander and a Levia. And just now a Phi. I might be missing one, but I think that's probably it. The games have been long. Uh-oh. Log in. Won't you tell me the login? Oh, the servers reset at like 7 o'clock, usually. So. Let's have our own. Alright, back to full screen. Anybody and everybody who wants to play, come along. Man, this is taking so long. Okay. We got one. Nice. Okay. Viserai. Against a Viserai, we are not playing all the D-Reacts or the sigils or these or that. Kind of just playing it like we were playing the Phi, actually. Almost exactly. Northern boots. Definitely need those. Set up good pummel turns. Playing Reaping Blade. So this is probably... I mean, they're testing the new meta, right? They can't use Rosetta Thorn anymore. This is the natural, like, next step, I think, for them. Just because it's a 1 cost. If they want to keep playing Shrill, it's kind of where they want to be. They're playing Become the Arknight. Become the Arknight is a tutor. Gets drawn to the Dark Dimension. Or no, discarding drawn to the Dark Dimension. Gets a Runeblood incantation set up bigger for their next turn. Pitched a card. Pitched a Mob Skies. 2 Rune Chance. Cool, cool. Alright, well. Golly. The server is so slow right now. It's rough. Well, the best we can do here is throw 10. That's what we're doing because we need the arsenal to sink below. This is the best thing that we have. Unless they end up blocking a whole lot for whatever reason. I don't think they will. I mean, they're probably not combo. Reaping Blade used to be the telltale sign that they were playing combo. But they're also playing Iron Weave when they have the ability to play a 2-block chest. So, they're blocking with their... Okay. Okay. Whew. I was about to say, we're about to get screwed next turn. Double Command and Conquer. Okay. Become the Arakni again. Is that the second one? Like both already? That's crazy. Okay, getting Rune Flash coming in. Let's discard it to amplify. I'll go ahead and pitch a little bit. This I'm gonna go ahead and actually block with the Sink Below 2, I think. Because like an Arsenal, the Command and Conquer. Now this does open me up to some crazy on hit that they might have. But okay. Yeah, Rebel turn is good. Bequest. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. That's insane. They said, I'm making this card work. Everybody said this card sucks, so I'm making it work. That's so crazy. Sure, man. Talk about a big turn. Holy moly. Here's the... Do I just full block it? No, we want a Command and Conquer. Come on. We need these cards. These cards are great. that was a turn. That turn was awesome. They did a great job. Rune Flash, Rebel, Bequest, 9th. How much damage is that? That was 3, 4, 7, 7, then 5 is 12. Bequest, mix another one. Right? 6. 12, sorry. 7, 12, 13. 13 plus 9, that's 22. Yes, 22 damage turn on turn 2. Wild. Okay, so they... Okay, sorry, I was talking over here. So they played Rattlebones. Pitching Dread Triptych. Goes and gets... They activated Grasp. Okay. Alright, so we have Command and Conquer in the arsenal. Honestly, we could probably just give them 2 cards and then set up this Chokeslam for next turn. I think it's probably right to give them these 2 cards. Play the Command and Conquer with a Surge. Then that way I can Chokeslam. And they could just go crazy on us. Crown of Providence. Get rid of their arsenal. Yeah, there it is. Viserai is definitely a card density deck. They need all of their cards to be able to do crazy things. Exponential damage and whatnot. So, not too surprised. Yep, with Mordred Tide, of course. You gotta have your 5-card hand. It's very good. Okay, Mob Skies, Runic Wreck. Hey, it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Still scary. So we want to go... So we can arsenal this. And take the 3 rune chance, go block, block, play 1, arsenal 1. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I like keeping the red for potential arsenal. We can keep this one there. It's fine. Ah. Yes, that's right. Yeah, go again. We might want to set up an arsenal. I'm going to block with this on the follow-up turn. If we draw a D-React, something along those lines, or another pummel, it's probably more likely that we get one of those. They may or may not have to respect this card. They probably play that card that buffs for +3, if I had to guess. I mean, that card is pretty strong. This card's art is sweet. I really don't think it's that great. Yeah, so Runic Reckoning, that's the card I was talking about. So, cost 1 less for each rune chain and get +3 on the card. It's good. Okay, so hey, it happened. The thing that I said. It's crazy. Now I'm going to play the Chokeslam and put a pummel on top of it. And if they block properly, I will arsenal the pummel. Dang. They are super duper crushed. Crushed by 3. They triple can't gain power on their attack action. Neat. No. Unplayable. Arsenal it though. Maybe Arsenal? Maybe so. That doesn't work, buddy. Okay, yes. And then maybe they Aether. I don't think there's any reason to pay for the rune chance, because we're gonna lose value on those ultimately anyway. Maybe we just block with one of these sparklings. That sounds right. Okay. Attack for 6, Arsenal Crippling, block with 2 cards next turn, got plenty of armor, hit him with the Crippling back. Good plan, good plan. This is so cool. I like this a lot. I've played him a few times. Sure. I almost kept the Crippling. This is not going to be a second cycle game. So I almost kept the Crippling because I was trying to save it for second cycle. It's always usually a pretty good practice to go ahead and do that. But with them playing Sigil of Suffering, we get rewarded for having the extra pitch. And that's very good. Cannot complain about that. No, sir. This card's also bonkers against Viserai. So giving it go again, on hit, all the things that they usually do. So, is there any world I keep this hand? Obviously we're blocking this, right? But we can get the armor. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Get the armor. I have one floating. I'm pitching because I don't think... I think I get more value out of this like that. And I can go block, block, block. And keep all the cards. That's fine. I think they're going to swing the sword. They are swinging the sword. I believe so. That's 5 rune chants coming in, and then so I can go to 8. That's fine. Seven. I mean, that is like that throws me off so much. How it goes to 7? It looks like it's 8. But here we can, well, honestly, I think it might be better just to go Iyslander. Go 1, 2, 3. They have a sink below, that's pretty bad. So they can block 7, but they need to block 8 on the crippling. Okay. Because of that reason, I think it might just be better to play the crippling. Just to make sure you ensure tempo just because of the math of the opportunity that they can block. And then also here, we don't really need the surge because we know they're playing Sigil of Suffering, right? So having the extra floating here could be really, really good to be able to stop their potential on hits. If we did that with Anathos and Iyslander, and we blocked with the Creepers and the Arknight, or they blocked with the Creepers and the Arknight, and they played a Sigil of Suffering, we're taking 1 damage and we're not doing anything next turn. Like literally nothing. So, or, you know, we didn't make them discard is what I'm saying. So just a little bit of opportunity cost there. It's a little bit better because, like, watch, this might be a Sigil of Suffering. Okay. Just trying to figure out why it did the double up effect. So they're coming in for 3. I honestly think it's fine to take this. And this is where it's pretty important to just make the surge off of that because we can arsenal the Starstruck. If we have to, for whatever reason. If it presents lethal, we can pitch the Starstruck to stop a Sigil. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, we're not. We're just going to keep the Starstruck. We have 2 block on the armor still. They have to give us 1 more card. Okay. Likely a sink below. If it's not, then they're dead because of the Starstruck. Okay, so reduced rune chant, that also works. Yep, that is a good block for them. Down to 1. Arsenal this. We did not brick. We are happy. We will take block. And that'll, like, oops. That'll likely be game. Again, I think it's better to have the 1 floating, just in case. We know they're playing Sigil of Suffering. So, yeah. That was a good showcase. Hope everybody enjoyed. Appreciate everybody being here. But we are going to wrap it up. Again, you can find this list in the description of any of my videos or hitting !deck list at any time here. Copy paste to your thing. There is a budget option. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream, but we'll bring it back up. Big budget differences. Let's use the compare tab here. If I can remember where the heck it is. They took it down. Well, anyway. Main cards that have changed. CNC, gone. Disable. There. 3 card hands. In the 5 matchup, having a disable there instead of a CNC would have been life or death for sure. So having CNC, there's a reason the card's worth a lot of money. It's because it's very good. But you can still get by. It's just your hard matchup in 5 is a little bit harder. But this card is actually like really good in the mirror. Like it's good in a lot of stuff. So don't knock it. Play with it. Try it out. Buckle over Warmonger. Warmonger is very good against Runeblade and Ranger, right? It's good against like random things, just in certain situations. You can find lines where you definitely want to play it. But Buckle is a good option too. Good 3 block, cost 3, turns on your Anathos. There's other options you can play as well. You can just kind of pick choose. This is a flex slot in the first place. Fondle's Fighting Spirit is one that people are playing if they're trying to be a little more defensive. Fatigue against Lexi. You could play Embolden if you want to go down that route. Embolden's always been a pretty fun card. Guardian card, though, you definitely want to go with that. You can play Crush the Weak if you're worried about Fi, I guess. You can play more Pummels. You can play... Pummel isn't a Guardian card, but, I mean, heck, you can play Staunch Response if you want. Stonewall Confidence, not terrible. Thump. I've played Thump in the past when I was playing more Pummels. You just play this. They have to respect it. If they don't respect it and you do happen to have the Pummel, then it's like a mini Crippling Crush. So, lots of things you can do. Lastly, cut the Tunic. Play the Northern Gloves. You won't have an issue. Well, alright guys. Appreciate you being here again. I'll move over to the transition screen. We will see you next time. We're going to start being a little bit more regular, hopefully. So I hope you guys can always join. And we'll see you soon. Bye.